It's another update day. Let's check it out and see what we got. As per usual with me and my blog reads, we'll start with what was released before today, and that means we're looking at the Hunter Guild for Varlamore. So it looks like they're trying new things with the blog posts. First we have audio reads if you want to have it read aloud to you rather than reading it yourself. And Jagex is also doing their own video summaries, giving us the information presented in them. The anchor points and glossary are just embed clicks that take you to the appropriate part of the page. On with the blog post. For the overview, they gave us the name of the location it will be in, the AVM Savannah. It's going to be set right outside of the main city down in Varlamore. And the name of the guild of Corvenationis, or how most people are just going to say, the Hunter Guild. You need 46 Hunter to enter, and that's about it for the overview. The next thing they talk about are the Hunter's rumors. Only one rumor can be active at a time, and it'll be like Slayer Masters with different hunters at a bar that you can get different rumors from. If you don't like your current tasks, just talk to another hunter, and if you don't like any of the ones available, you can trade spare parts for a low tier hunt to reset all the available ones in the bar. And it looks like the levels for the rumors are going to be 46 for basic, 57 for tier 1, 72 for tier 2, and 91 for tier 3. Completing it will give you rare creature parts, which you can trade into the hunter that gave you the rumor for bonus XP, and a loot sack. It'll have junk items like meat, fur, and bones, or you can get Varlamore specific items. The main one they mention is a new hunter skilling outfit, and interestingly, it doesn't say that it gives bonus experience, but instead a bonus to the catch rate, and an increase to getting rare creature parts. Looks like they also mention one of the new Quetzals is available to have as a pet. And since this is a proposal post, this is currently what the poll in-game is covering. Speaking of the Quetzals, we get some nice concept art. It looks like they're going to have a roost at the top of the Hunter Guild. It is essentially the giant eagles except for Varlamore, and with the right hunter and construction levels you can build your own locations. Access to the Hunters Guild will give you the Quetzal Whistle, which appears to be an instant teleport back to the guild from anywhere except the wilderness. 3 different tiers of the whistles made out of different items. Basic has 5 charges, Enhanced has 20 charges, and Perfected has 50 charges. Once you complete 5 rumors, you'll be rewarded with the basic whistle. Need to find blueprints for the better variants. They're considering it to be a 1 in 50 drop rate. And just in case people have bad RNG, you can get the enhanced blueprint at the 100th and the perfected on the 250th. Or you can outright buy and sell the blueprints because they are tradable. Looks like the hunter creature meats will be used to charge your whistle. Higher level meats give more charges. And we have the option to make the perfected whistle hold unlimited by trading in a large amount of hunter meats. I like that. Apparently they expect us to spend a lot of time with the birds as we travel, so they want us to be able to customize the ones that come to pick us up. And apparently touching on the eagle network, Jagex is going to revitalize the eagles by including an eagle nest inside of the guild, as well as having a guild eagle that can fly you to the Eagle's Peak. So the main reason they go unused, which is getting to the eagle nest locations, is going to be solved by teleporting to the Quetzals and then being able to fly over to the eagles. So not only is this Varlamore travel, but it is also overall Gillinor travel. That's a good use of combining new and old content, I think. In terms of new creatures, it looks like we have moths that we can hunt. The Sunlight Moth is able to restore stats as well as heal hit points, and the Moonlight Moth will be used to restore prayer points. You can also use them in hunter mixes, 2-dose area of effect potion that has the same effects as the moths themselves, and it's being extended to the butterflies. We also have Antelope coming. There's still again 2 variants, Sunlight and Moonlight. Moonlight will be used to upgrade the hunter's crossbow, and the Sunlight will be used for ammunition for the crossbow. Jerboas are small little rodents that can be caught with a box trap, and will use their tails to create bolas. Fennec foxes. They'll take 57 hunter and a baited deadfall trap, dropping fur, meat, and bones. The bait for their deadfall traps would be the jerboas from a second ago. And we would see a new tier of salamander. It would take 79 hunter, use a new Iritar for the ammo, level 80 stats in order to wield it. Who knows if this will get people using salamanders more often or not. As Varlamore gets expanded, new animals will be added and they will be pulled as the area expansions occur. And then they want to go on to talk about upgrading the current hunter content. Looks like there will be a new cooking method introduced to let us eat hunter meats. And basically, our main foods we're used to, like a shark will heal 20 HP in one bite. The new foods will have a delayed heal, so for example the dashing kebbit, it will heal an initial 15 HP, and then later on heal an extra 8 HP. So Hunter will essentially be better food, but it will have a delay for the full healing effect. And yes, we'll still be able to combo eat with the Hunter meats. But we are unable to eat another piece of Hunter meat until one tick after the secondary healing has finished. And then it gives a table with the current fish healing, the Hunter meat for their initial healing, as well as what comes additionally later, and the total Hunter meat heal. So like a trout would give 7, the wild kebbit would give 5, plus 3 later for a total of 8, shark will give 20, dashing kebbit will give 15, later on give 8 plus 10 run energy, for a total of 23. In order to unlock the new cooking method, you need to complete rumors, 25 rumors for low, 50 for mid tier, and 100 for the high tier. We're gonna get different gears. First one is the mixed hide gear. It's basically a range melee hybrid. Overall, it appears it'll give melee strength, as well as ranged attack, and gives some negative benefits to the melee offense. But your weapon will compensate for those, so overall, yeah, it's a melee range set. And then we have the Hunter's Bolas, which can be made from the Jerboa tails. They are ranged weapons that roll damage based on melee strength. They have a special attack, which is 60% of the bar, which will ensnare your opponent. The snare scales with Hunter level up to a maximum of 15 ticks at 99 Hunter. However, if the target is preying range, the effects are entirely negated. The bolas are consumable and will work with Avas. And it looks like the bolas only have a range of 1 tile, so it is a ranged melee weapon that can stun your opponent basically. Interesting. Bringing up the Hunter's crossbow again, that you can upgrade with the Moonlight Antelope's horns. Basically, it'll put the Moonlight crossbow on par with the Rune crossbow in terms of power, but it has a little bit nicer of an attack speed. They're thinking about Hunter's pouches. One of the issues with Hunter at the moment is how fast the inventory fills. There will be different fur pouches for holding different amounts of furs, as well as meat sacks basically that can hold different kinds of the raw Hunter meats. Raw, not cooked. So it's a nice way to travel all of your items back to a bank. And addressing the old Hunter outfits that have been in the game for a while, the Larupia, Grok, and Kiat are going to have damage reduction against Hunter creatures only, and the camouflage gear are going to get an overall 5 kilogram weight reduction. A trap storage is also being planned. It'll be pretty much like the tackle box for fishing. You get to store all of your Hunter tools and pull them out as you need. And it would only work for traps, meaning basically anything that's created with the Lunar Spell Hunter Kit. And that looks like that's going to wrap up the Hunter Guild. So that's more or less everything going over the current pull in the game. Like usual in my blog reads, I'll leave a link to the Hunter Guild post in the description as well. And now on for the blog post that came out today, the 13th. The Path of Glouphrie has arrived. So let's see what they have to say about the new quest. They made a trailer for it to watch on YouTube. Gonna have to have done Eyes of Glouphrie, Waterfall Quest, and the Tree Gnome Village, as well as having 60 Strength, 56 Slayer, 56 Thieving, 47 Ranged, and 45 Agility. Completing it gives 2 quest points, access to the Poison Waste Dungeon, Slayer, Thieving, Strength, and Magic XP offered in the form of lamps. An image of the quote-unquote new dungeon for RuneScape. We get a nice side view of one of the warp tortoises, and what the warp terror birds get to look like. And they're not the same enemies from RuneScape 2, the stats and loot tables have been rebalanced for old school. You also no longer need to use the chime on them during the fight, you just need to hold it in your inventory. Chimes are made from a separate seed than the saw, so you don't have to swap between the two. And instead of being individual Slayer tasks, they are going to have one warped creature Slayer task to cover both. The Slayer task is optional, so you need to unlock it, and they're also going to pull an additional Slayer block slot unlocked at 300 points. Give us a nice concept art on what the Warp Scepter will look like, and it seems like the gist of where they wanted it to slot in is before 81 Mage, Ivan's staff is going to be better than the Warp Scepter. After 81 Mage, the Warp Scepter will do more raw damage than the Ivan staff. So the benefit of the Warp Scepter over the Ivan staff is it is going to have a faster attack speed. So additionally, magic boosting items will help it out more than Ivan's staff, as well as having a built-in spell to let you use any spellbook that you want while using the weapon. And then they give us an in-game model of the staff on a player character. Future pulled Slayer block slot. With the release of Path of Glouphrie, we're now up to 300 quest points available. Currently, every 50 points unlocks a new block slot, and they want to pull it just in case because it can significantly alter existing Slayer meta. You can cast your vote on this subject in the next poll, which should be around the end of September. And if it passes, it will launch quickly, so there's not much waiting on it. And we also get the mobile beta worlds. The beta worlds are pretty much fully for the new mobile UI. You need to manually update it through the Google Play or App Store to be able to test the betas, and if not, you will get issues with the user interface in between beta and non-beta worlds if you're switching. It seems like the work they did in the background is being able to convert a save from the main game to use it on the beta worlds, as opposed to normally when you would be starting out on Tutorial Island, able to be teleported onto the mainland. And once you're finished playing in the beta, you can simply switch over to a normal world and resume normally. Options to leave feedback in the old school Discord, as well as the mobile UI beta survey. There's a link here to go to it. Again, I'll link the blog post in the description if you're interested in checking it out yourself. And the other changes that came out today. Winter Tot now has a 1-minute respawn timer, and it will appear in his empty energy bar. The rest of the Pull 80 changes are coming next week, that being the Callisto chip damage, and medium wilderness diary for the wilderness bosses. And since lately the community's been arguing about the new AFK mining method from Duke Sicellus, Jagex has gone ahead and nerfed the Duke's mining deposits, so if you're there for 5 minutes it will tire you out and cause you to stop, as opposed to just mining indefinitely for 6 hours. This is decided mostly because it's free XP at the end of the day. You can set up and go to sleep with it. It's no different than just cashing out an XP lamp for mining. And Jagex believes it is in their best interest for the game to go ahead and patch out this unintended training method. Other changes happened for wording on the Group Iron Man leaving interface. Group Iron Man leaders who want to leave no longer need another active member to do so. Grand Exchange on the Dead Man Apocalypse worlds will no longer take the sales fee. You can now check charges on the Blade of Celador while it's equipped. And Bind, Snare, and Entangle now have slightly different XP drops depending on if the spell splashes or if it lands a hit. Basically, it gives 1 more XP, so if you splash you get 30, if you land the bind you get 31. For the snare you would get 61 instead of 60. And Entangle already had a difference in PvP, but this has now been extended over to PvM, being 89 XP instead of a splash of 70. Wilderness Diary task to kill a lava dragon and bury its bones is now completed just by killing the dragon, and the Locator Orb is permitted in Castle Wars. We finish off with our normal PvP world rotations. Feel free to pause the video and look at it if you're interested. And if we go back up to the top, Jagex is planning on making a change to the shooting stars. Due to the Duke's mining nerf that just came out, they want shooting stars to no longer deplete faster if more people are mining them. So whether you have 20 people on a star or 1 person, it will always be depleting at the same amount. They want to do this to give an AFK method for mining since they took away the AFK mining for the Duke salts. And it looks like that finishes up our update for this week, as well as the post that we missed that came out after last week. If you have any thoughts yourself, feel free to leave them in the comments so we can discuss. Otherwise, have a good rest of the day, you guys.